Hello and welcome to episode 139 of the Boot Nerds podcast. JayMike, what's going on?
I want to say that there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, Josh. And you're gonna, at this point, you'll understand why. You've seen what's popped up today. It's an exciting day for me. It's that time of the year. You'll understand what I mean in a second. But yeah, I'm doing really well. Doing really well, thank you. What about you?
Really well. Just, you know what? For those that are wondering why we haven't been like frequently uploading podcast episodes every week, it's the slowest period of football boots that I can remember in the history of caring about football boots too much.
Yeah, there hasn't been much, has there?
No, it's been really slow.
Much. And it's not that we have a disagreement or beef or anything. There's just not much to talk about. We've covered all the topics we've done 139 podcasts. So we've been over every big thing that we could do. And now we're just waiting for new cool stuff to talk about. And thankfully today, we've got it. Now the thing is that by now, if you do care about boots, at least if you follow Unisport, you will have seen that we have released another new Unisport boot. Josh has never seen it before, so this is like the big reveal. It's the day before the launch that we're recording this, and yeah, it's I'm really excited. Honestly, I'm really excited. Slightly anxious to see your reaction. But let's see. I mean, the other boots that we've done that I've had a hand in doing have been, I think, SR4U approved. Let's see if it's the case for this one. But guys, if you have any comments or questions, remember to leave them in the comment section right down below. And also, if you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up, and we'll greatly appreciate it. And if for some reason you're watching this, you haven't subscribed, you know what to do. It's free and it's awesome. But anyways, Josh, how should I? Okay. So a little bit of backstory here, right? You know that we've made a lot of pretty cool SMU specially made units with Unisport and Puma. So it goes back to the days of the City Pack, where I got to realize a lifelong dream of actually designing a pair of football boots. Was a really cool experience. Jolter and PWG also got to design a pair of boots and shoes each. Then we did the drip on the Ultra 1.1. We also did the Unisport 25th anniversary. Really cool boots. Loved the drip. And we also did a future with a rapper from Paris called Joker. I didn't have much to do with that, but it was cool nonetheless. And now, Josh, we had the chance to do something on the new Ultra. So I went back to all my crazy, stupid ideas and thought, okay, what? Blank canvas here. What do we want to do? So we ended up doing, it's called Barbershop.
Okay.
And we ended up doing this.
Oh, it's like is it a barbershop pole? Is that what you would call it?
See, man gets it. Yeah. So this is what it looks like. I'll also show you on the camera here. This is basically what it looks like. So I'll show you both of them because they're actually really cool. That was one of the things that I really wanted to do is that you know that when you have stripes on a boot, you typically just make one boot, right or left, and then you just flip it. You mirror the design. But I wanted the stripes to kind of flow over, have the same direction on both boots. So kind of like, so when you look at them from a top-down point of view, you see that the stripes have the same direction on both boots. They connect, basically.
Yes.
And if you like hold them a little bit like that, they do actually connect in these. So the story goes that I've always loved the look of these barbershop poles and you know this whole the lines going wrapping around that pole. It looks like there's some movement to it. So we sat down, did some designs. Some look better than others. Basically back then it was red and white, like the barber poles are in Europe. But we also have these red and white and blue, like you have in the States. For whatever reason. So we sat down, did these what would they be called? Crooked lines? Not crooked lines.
wavy lines,
whatever you want to call them, the lines, angled lines.
Yeah.
We did that and spoke to Puma. Back then it was a white base with red and blue lines on. They came back. They said, you know what, that's a really cool idea. We like it, but what about we make the base black? And also we play with the idea of the barbershop having neon lights. So what about we make the stripes neon lights as well? So they actually have these little it's a bit of a glowy effect. Little dots. It's a little glowy. So pretty cool. And yeah, it's basically a black boot with blue, red, and white stripes on. And what do you think?
You know what? I really like them. I love the fact that the stripes, like you said, are kind of continued along both boots. So you end up with a little bit of a different look. The stripes are technically at a different angle on the left and right boot from either side. So they have that little bit of a mismatched look to them, which I think is pretty sweet. I like the glow effect. That's the first thing that I noticed, where it almost looks, because of how they've done it, at least from a distance, I'm sure in person it's always a little bit different, but they have, it looks like they have neon lights on them for the most part.
Yeah.
And
my first reaction was like, those are lightsabers.
That's exactly what I was just going to say. I don't know much about Star Wars, but they look like lightsabers.
Oh yeah, I love Star Wars, and I was like, this is so cool. They're not lightsabers, obviously for rights reason and all that. But yeah, I'm super happy with how they turned out. Of course, we also have this whole backstory of how, barbershops are where you come and you, I wouldn't say you shape your identity, but it's a place you go and you decide how you want the world to see you, how you want to present yourself. And we thought it was a great metaphor of the boots being the tools for you to define who you are on the pitch as a player. Use these as a reminder that you decide who you are. So pretty dope.
I like, similar to all the other collabs you've been involved with, I think what's cool about these is that they're flashy and unique, but at the same time, they're quite subtle. Because I think from a distance, they're still going to look like mostly black boots. And it's not until you're up close that you're going to get that little bit of flair from the stripes. I think the color combo is really good. Like the red, white, and blue on the black base is really nice. It also reminds me a little bit of the CR7 pinstripe boots from way back in the day, if you remember those. Yeah. They're not the same, obviously, but they're reminiscent of that a little bit, which I kind of like. I always thought that was an underrated look for a pair of football boots, and I don't know. I dig. It's such a departure from all the Ultra graphics that we've seen so far. It stands out in the best way possible. And
I actually hadn't thought of the pinstripe design before you brought it up now, which is it's funny. It is a lot reminiscent of that, true. But that's one of the things you said. You said a word I'm really happy to hear, unique. I wanted this to be, obviously the rest of the Unisport team and the Puma design team, we wanted this to be unique. We wanted this to stand out and be something that isn't just another Ultra colorway. We wanted it to be something that when you see it, you just you have to stop and look twice and be like, what is that? What is that? So yeah, I mean, with a PSG or Barcelona kit, this will be phenomenal. Phenomenal.
They look good. And again, like you said, it's so hard. There's been so many football boot releases in history. It's so difficult at this point to create a colorway and a pattern and a look to a boot in general that we haven't seen before. And I think you guys have achieved that once again.
Thank you.
It's really good.
Well,
really impressed with those. And can't wait to see him in person.
Well, and that's the thing. There's a pair coming your way. But I mean, what would be like if you take off the "I'm friends with JayMike" hat, and you are like, you're on your own channel. You're like, you have to also stick it to us a little bit. What would you also say? What's the backside of this? Like, I mean, we can take it.
I really like the way that they look. And when you initially said barbershop, my impression was, okay, barbershop pole, it's a little bit strange, weird concept for a football boot. But then your explanation of It's where you go to form how the world is going to see you. You picking your haircut. Like that's a personal choice. I like that idea, and I think it makes a lot of sense with boots, and that I think more than ever now, certainly amongst the younger generation, it's part of the reason why we're seeing so many of these younger, unendorsed pros going back and wearing some of their childhood favorites.
Yeah.
They're trying to stand out. They're trying to be unique. And I think this, if you're looking to stand out without being overly flashy, I think this is one of those colorways that does that extremely well. It's really easy to take a concept like that and go completely overboard. You guys didn't do that.
Well, thank you. And kudos. I mean, it has to be said, we couldn't have done this without the Puma design team. If you see the Unisport video, you'll see some of the first sketches that I'd mocked up in Photoshop, and this is way better. let's just put it like that. It's a great, working with these guys, man. It's a privilege. They are really good at what they do. I mean, you understand why that's their job, because they're just so, they latch onto your ideas like that, and it's wicked. And I just thought, since the Ultra is also one of your personal favorites, I figured you might enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I really, really like how those turned out. Any specific numbers in terms of production?
300 pairs worldwide. So 300
pairs.
So a bit more than we did with the Drip, and of course the 25th anniversary pair, 25 worldwide. So a few more, also because we like the design. We believe that people actually, a few more people would want to buy this design. So hopefully there will be people who like it.
Yeah, I mean, that's like, if you're watching this podcast and you're on the market for a pair of football boots or just a collector, like, this is, in my opinion, such a cool piece of football boot history.
Well,
I gotta say.
Yeah, and it's just a big big piece of obviously my professional career, getting to design or be a part of designing, needs to be said, another pair of football boots. It doesn't get any less good with time. It doesn't get...
Okay. So one final question, because I feel like we've had to answer this quite a few times.
Sure.
If you have to wear a pair of speed boots going into a match tomorrow, are you picking the Ultra, the Speed Flow, or the Mercurials?
Oh, that is, I mean, I actually do have a match tomorrow, and I mean, these are going to go in the bag. Depends on the surface and all that stuff. Are we playing on AG? What are we doing? But I mean, they're in the bag, of course.
They're in the bag. Sure.
They're in the bag. I mean, if we're playing firm, firm pitch it. I mean, they're coming on.
What a flex that is. Oh, nice boots.
Yeah.
What are those? Oh, I designed them myself.
Yeah. And in that case, it's okay to, when it's just against the opponent, it's okay to take all the credit and just say, yeah, I made these. That's not the case at all, by the way. No. There's a lot of very talented people involved in this, and needs to be said, right? But it's just it's such a privilege to be a part of this and to experience the process of how much actually goes into this. It's not just saying, what's the flavor of the month? Yeah, let's go with that. Good job, guys. Let's go have beers. A lot of thought actually goes into this, and obviously, again, being a boot nerd, working with football boots on a daily basis, and actually getting to have your to touch it, to have your fingerprint on it is, like, it's something else, man. Something else. Never gets boring. Never gets boring. Yeah. So yeah, that is the Puma X Unisport Ultra 1.4 Barbershop. Let us know what you think in the comment section right down below, and roasting us is also okay. I mean, it's a bit of a polarizing design. I get it. So let me know. And if you have any other ideas that you'd see come to life, we're all ears.
Now I feel the need to pay attention to the barbershop polls, because I don't know if there's blue in a barbershop poll.
There is.
When you say,
we checked.
There is.
Yeah,
you checked. Okay, well, I'm gonna start walking around, and every time I see one, I'm gonna take a picture and send it to you from now on.
Wicked. That's gonna be really tedious in like 3 months' time, but yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. The funny story around the barbershop polls, right? And now you asked for it. This is on you.
Okay.
So I obviously looked it up, and it appears that barbershop polls have looked historically different in Europe and in the States. So in Europe, they were just red and white. Red and white, these stripes running down. Apparently, it's because back in the days, barbers used to do surgeries as well. And bloodletting in that time was a big thing. So they thought that if you had a cold or other diseases, you could let blood and remove the bad blood to make way for the good blood. And so you wouldn't be sick anymore. So obviously when you'd had done the bloodletting, you would be wrapped in bandages. And they would take those bloody bandages, I guess, or whatever, put it on a pole and slap it outside the store to signal that this was a barber or surgeon, whatever you want to call it. So that's where it kind of came from. That pole with the bloody bandages, whatever, really disgusting, became the barbershop pole, according to the internet. Where the blue arrives from in the States, I've got no clue. Like, I genuinely don't know. It could be that they're, veins, or it's the flag.
I don't know. Well, just to reconfirm your research, I just looked up the barber that I go to, and they do in fact have a white, red, and blue pole.
Well, there you go. It would be pretty bad if it was just like, no, it's actually, it's red and green. You guys are dumb. Whoops. So there we go. Barbershop, 300 pairs. Only place you can get it in the entire world is unisportstore.com. Not even on puma.com, nowhere else but unisportstore.com. Unisport exclusive. That's what we do. So yeah, Josh, we also have some questions and some comments, which are always nice. We have from Herman Hassel. Hey guys, I recently discovered your podcast and I've consumed dozens of Boot Nerds SR4U and Unisport videos episodes since. Thank you. Herman, you're a good man. I'm playing my first match in 9 years in August. I currently have a pair of black gold Adipure 2s, but my favorite pair used to be the Reebok Valder Pro 2, which unfortunately fell apart after using FG on AG. Fantastic boot nonetheless. I prefer a good passing shooting control boot over a super lightweight speed boot. I haven't tried any new boots in 10 years, so I've missed a lot of development and I'm quite overwhelmed navigating through all of the opportunities. My budget is around 300 euros. So that is a healthy budget for your first boots in 9 years. I can only applaud that. Where do I start? Thank you both. So, we actually got a comment from Jonathan Rodriguez saying Mizuno Wave Ignitus remakes would be a great place to start. And I was like, I read that comment before even thinking about it. And I was like, yeah, that's the answer. That's the answer right there.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad choice because I'm just looking up a Reebok Valda Pro 2.
They're chunky.
And yeah, I never had a pair. I've never tried a pair, but I really like how they look. It's like, I definitely remember seeing these. I just never pulled the trigger on a pair. But yeah, there's some power boot vibes in that for sure.
Definitely. And I think Giggsy wore it back in the day. Obviously being one of the main phases of Reebok. Might be that Casillas wore it as well. Not sure. But yeah.
I think so. I think they would have been the main two guys for sure.
Probably, yeah. Nice boots, definitely, but there isn't a like-for-like replacement. Could be, if we had a Power Swerve remake, could also be an option. Pulse remakes might be a suggestion. Those are the Wave Igniters, I think. Solid options.
Yeah, and even just classic leather. Like, I don't think you'd be upset with
442s.
Maybe a Rebula Cup.
Rebula Cup 442. Definitely.
Yeah, 442 wouldn't be a bad option either.
Yeah. I mean, you can buy two 442s for 300 euros. Just get the gold ones. The gold ones are so cool.
The gold ones are sweet.
Really, really, really regretting not getting the gold ones.
them?
Yeah, they are so cool. So cool.
Yeah, they are
great pair of boots. Jonathan Rodriguez also asked a question. Agree with Josh. Adidas should have a classic leather boot to compete with the Premier. The original Glora was incredibly well received. Revive 11 Pro to do it. Also, the question of what to change in every big brand was very good. Question for both. What would you prefer? A synthetic pair completely molded to the shape of your foot, or a custom leather boot, same deal, made on a custom lash, just slightly smaller to give you the perfect fit once stretched, like pros get? What would you take? What would you do?
I would be more curious to feel the synthetic boot.
Yeah.
To be honest with you. Because I just feel like you can achieve that with a good leather boot. Like I feel like I've experienced that with a pair of Morelia 2s broken in.
Sure. And I also have the feeling like if we are to really enjoy the benefits of having a completely custom molded pair of boots, I think you'd feel a bigger difference in a pair of synthetics compared to a pair of leather boots, which they can feel more personalized if you just break them in well. So I mean, leather boots completely molded to your foot. It sounds really nice, but we kind of already tried it with, so that's what you do when you break in the leather boot. So definitely synthetics for me.
Yeah, I'd be curious to experience that because I just think back to Ronaldo Superfly 4s. Like those just had such a drastically different shape from a retail pair.
Yeah.
Like I just wonder how those felt.
What would you want, synthetic or knit textile?
I think I would lean towards a knitted upper, to be honest with you.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, some sort of engineered textile or knit or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. Kusandra Hattrick. I'm probably butchering that name badly. I'm sorry. Fuis. That's because I changed the name. It's Luis Figo. Jay. Funny. Anyways, great video as always. AG boots are hard to come by where I am. What would be your top turf boots for those of us who are older, like comfort, and want to avoid injury and preserve our joints and knees? We actually mentioned that in the last podcast, but I'll happily talk about it again. You're probably going to say the same. I think it's the
Mondial team.
Yes.
It's the Mondial team. That's just the way to go.
Honestly, they are the best turf shoes out there. The sole is fantastic. It's nice and stable. You get a really good, like sturdy leather upper. That's the thing. When I play turf, I really want my boots to feel a little extra powerful. You get that beefiness from the leather upper. Nice reinforcement with suede, extra strip on the tongue. Just a great tooling. Like super standard, but just it works wonders. If it ain't broken, don't fix it.
And I don't necessarily think there's a bad option for turf shoes. They're all going to feel fairly similar.
Sure.
I think the Nike Tiempo turf option is actually really solid right now, especially if you want something that has a little bit more of a padded feel to it. I believe it's the Pro option that they have. I can't remember the name because Nike has the strangest names for their indoor boots right now. It's Zoom Tiempo Air Legend 9 Pro
9.
X or something. Like it's a weird.
Yeah, okay, that
weird
looks
name.
pretty good actually. Little bit of React foam in the tooling, and that outsole that looks very good as well. Yeah,
they're not bad. The only downside of a Mondial team is it does feel substantial on your feet. Like there's some bulk there. There's some heft.
This is definitely going to be more, should we say, street friendly? I would say. Yeah. Oh, but good shout. Very good shout, actually. Definitely.
Yeah.
And also
it depends on what you want, but in terms of value for money, you can't really beat a Mondial team.
No. And also, I would give a shout out to the Puma Future set MG as well. If you want the feel of a football boot rather than a turf shoe, the MGs are great. Obviously a little bit more aggressive in terms of grip, but they're also very good and pretty safe.
Yeah.
Pretty safe. Okay. Another one from Austin Doman or Ostendoma, or however you say that. It really, names are hard to pronounce when you don't know where they're from. Anyways, hi guys, another AG/FG question. I've seen a decent amount of people wearing Copa Mundials on AG, and in my head it makes sense since they're rounded molded studs similar to a lot of AG sole plates. Do you think that wearing FG boots that have rounded studs, such as Mizuno Morelia Neos, Nike Premiers, New Balance 442s, etc., is a viable option if you struggle to find AG boots?
I would say 9 times out of 10, yes.
Yes.
However, that you do run the risk of potentially the boots just not lasting as long as they otherwise would on firm ground.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, artificial grass it's a very hard surface on your football boots.
Abrasive,
and
yeah.
Regardless of what a lot of people like to believe in regards to AG models and they're a money grab and there's barely any difference, there legitimately is a difference in not just the stud patterns, but typically the construction of the sole plate, how it's connected to the upper, how well reinforced it is. Like if you're banking on your football boots lasting as long as possible and you play on artificial grass, an AG boot is going to outlast a firm ground boot 9 times out of 10.
Look, there's a reason the brands put a warranty on AG boots. Like they don't want you returning your boots under warranty because they have to give you a new one for free. Obviously, that's not good business, right? So there's a reason they put warranty on those, but not on FG boots if you wear them on AG, because they know that FG boots are more likely to fall apart than AG boots because they are more durable. But coming back to the question, I recently did a video for Unisport on this, and where I said that, you know, as a rule of thumb, FG on AG is a no-go. But if you have to, you can't get an AG pair of boots, please make sure that you wear conical studs on AG. Like they're, you know, from an injury prevention point of view, they're the ones to go for. You lose your warranty, your boots might fall apart, that will suck, but it will be infinitely better than if you wear blades. So you know, it's kind of okay if you accept that you're risking the boots falling apart, not getting it covered by warranty. But it's on you. It's not on us. But if you can avoid it, you know, don't wear FGs on AG.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can also do like this idiot and do a shoot with bladed studs on. It happens. That's part of the job. Sometimes we have to. Paul Kim asks a question that's very related to this. Which FG stud pattern would work for AG? I'm in the US, or in the US anyway, true AGs are not readily available. And I feel for you guys. Would the Jumbo Elite Pro FG be safe given the bladed studs are in the heel? So either the Elites or the Pros of the Legends, are they okay? If you live with the fact that the warranty's gone.
Live with the fact that the warranty's gone. And I still think that the studs are on the longer side and the sole plate's on the thinner side for artificial grass. Maybe not so much in the first month or so, but after that, once the material starts to soften up a little bit, stud pressure could potentially be a factor. I've never done like a true test on whether or not I could feel a difference between bladed studs in the heel and rounded studs in the heel.
No.
I would say, just based on experience, I don't think the studs in the heel matter that much in terms of increasing your risk of injury. It's more so in the forefoot when you're kind of rotating and pivoting more. I just think something like a Copa Mundial, something like a Morelia, these shorter conical studs tend to be better suited for artificial grass long-term, more so in terms of comfort than anything.
I agree. I totally agree. I don't think the Legends from like a stud shape point of view would be bad. The injuries that I've seen from blades on turf have not come from the heel area. It might be a possibility, and there might be an increased risk. I don't know. But the Legends I would be okay wearing those. Definitely would. But I would also lean towards recommending like a pair of Neos or Morelias or 442s or Copas. Premiers for that matter. Premiers would be great because they have really short studs. I just don't like. If you're going for the Premier, buy the 442s instead, please. They're much better boots in my book. Slightly more expensive, sure, but value for money is also there. 442s are great, guys. It's like I've had an epiphany wearing those boots. I really enjoy them. They're 140 euros. It's ridiculous.
JayMike's going to show up next week for the podcast with like a New Balance tattoo on his forehead or something.
Well, there's plenty of space on the forehead, so you know. we shot the Barbershop video, right? And we thought, let's go to the Barbershop and shoot it there, like we did for the Vapor 12. And then we looked at each other and we're just like, why are we going to the Barbershop to you know, get my hair cut when we have this situation going on? I mean, there's nothing to cut. And even if we do cut it, it's just like, what can you do? Can you shave it off?
Did you go anyways?
No, we didn't go.
Missed opportunity.
Like, look at this hair. Obviously, we didn't go. So yeah, it's a bit of a missed opportunity. But gone are the days when I can go and get a cool haircut. It's the way it is. It's the way it is. So yeah, you gotta imagine me sitting in a bar. I haven't been to the barbershop for ages. You just buzz it at home.
Do you just buzz your own hair at this point?
Yeah. I mean, what's the point in paying money
so.
to do something that I can do myself?
That's
I
true.
get my wife to do it. So yeah.
That's true. I just think JayMike in a wig at a barbershop in a YouTube video is just a huge missed opportunity.
We'll do that next time. And obviously, we're never going to copy the barbershop concept, so it's an easy thing for me to say next time because they won't.
Well, when 50 years from now, when Puma decides to do a retro remake of the Unisport Barbershop Puma Ultra, we'll have to figure something out.
Yeah, okay. By that time, I won't have any hair on my head at all. I think my beard will also have fallen off because that's apparently how my body works. So yeah, you should really appreciate it. I'm just gonna put it out there, guys. If there are any people out there who have like a full head of hair like Josh, lush, thick hair, appreciate it. Appreciate it, guys. It took like what? If you've been watching Unisport regularly, it's been like what? 5 years? It's just gone from having like a lot of hair to no hair whatsoever. But hey, it is what it is. It's not your hair that defines your identity. I know I've just told that story, but if you don't have any hair, you have other ways of defining it. But buy the boots anyway. Anyways, those were all the questions I had for today. Do you have any questions, Josh, that you want to get out there?
I have no questions at all. I'm just eagerly anticipating something else to happen in the world of football boots. It's just been, I just can't believe how much of a lull there has been.
The biggest launch of the year, mate.
The barbershop. I know.
The biggest, most important launch of the year.
It is the most important launch of the year. I think that's an early contender for colorway of the year.
Wow.
Like I can't think off the top of my head right now of a better colorway.
See, I don't know if this is just you being like really nice because we're friends and all, or if you're genuine about this. So I think
I really like them.
I guess I'll have to see when come the end of the year where this ranks.
I'll
come back and haunt you if this is like not even on the list.
I can guarantee you if I do the SR4U Boot Awards again, that will be the sure winner for the best barbershop themed football boot of 2022.
I'll take it. I'll definitely take it. And what we don't know is that both Adi and Nike are just coming out with barbershop themed boots and just smashing these out the water. That would suck. That would suck so hard. But anyways, guys, I think that was it for episode 139. 139 of the Boot Nerds podcast. Yet another Unisport Puma special. Mm-hmm. Only available on unisportstore.com. 200 euros as per usual because we're good like that. Go get it before it's gone because when it's gone, it's gone. Mm-hmm. Okay? Now also, questions, they go in the comment section right down below. Leave a like on the video if you had a good time. Make sure to subscribe to the Boot Nerds podcast and of course, SR4 Unisport if you hadn't done so already. And with those words, I've been JayMike and I approve this question and the fact that my hair is dead. It is what it is. See you later, man.
Thanks for listening. Oh my God. What am I supposed to say to that?
I don't know. A few words of pity.
Sorry for your loss.
Yeah, thank you. Literal loss. Yeah. Let's end this right now.